Welcome to today's Centennials classes. Today our topic is overhanging beam, that is coming in shear force and bending moment diagram of strength of material in engineering syllabus, engineering graduation in third semester it is coming. See, here we will define what is meant by the overhanging beam and the nature of the overhanging beam and how the bending moment diagram as well as shear force diagram will be look like. And also with the help of an example, we will solve one question also. See here in first case, this is the first case. In first case, SS beam I have shown. SS means simply supported beam having support at A and B. The bending moment diagram, you please see, the bending moment diagram is parabolic shape since it is of uniformly distributed load and it is having the bending moment diagram totally positive and it is coming above the baseline. And in second diagram, for the case of a cantilever beam, the bending moment diagram is coming below the baseline and it is totally below the baseline and it is negative. In other way, we can say the bending moment diagram of simply supported beam is of a sagging nature and the bending moment diagram of a cantilever beam is of a hogging nature. And what this means by the overhanging beam, that is shown as the third picture. In third is also a simply supported load I have shown over here. And here the thing is that it is having the first part, that AB is simply supported beam and BC is a cantilever beam. It means that it is a combination of simply supported beam and a cantilever beam. A combination of simply supported beam and a cantilever beam, we can say it as an overhanging beam. And how the bending moment diagram of overhanging beam will look like. This is the bending moment diagram of an overhanging beam. It is having a nature of sagging here, see, it is positive, and hogging here also it is negative, because the bending moment diagram of a simply supported beam is positive and the bending moment diagram for a cantilever beam is negative. Because of that, for the case of an overhanging beam, the bending moment diagram will shift from positive to negative. The point at which the diagram will shift, the baseline. See, as we know, at baseline, the bending moment is 0. Since the point which it shift the positive to negative is on the baseline, so that point I have noted it as E. So E is the point of contraflexure. Point of contraflexure. E is known as the point of contraflexure, otherwise point of inflection. And at E, the bending moment, at E, the bending moment will be 0. Okay, by finding out the distance in between this A to E, we can say at where is the point of contraflexure. That is possible by equating the bending moment at point E to 0. We can find out the distance of X. So hope you could understand the fundamentals of overhanging beam. Now we will solve one question here. See, an example is here. A beam ABC is given and it is 6 meters long, supported at A and B. Supported at A and B means that AB will be simply supported and 4 meters long. This distance in between A and B is 4 meters. This distance in between A and B is 4 meters. And the distance of BC, it means that from here to here, the distance is 2 meters. So total is 6 meter. For the total of 6 meter, there is a uniformly distributed load is given, that is 20 kilonewton per meter, and also a pointed load is given at the point of C. Okay. Now we have to find out the shear force as well as the bending moment. For drawing the bending moment and shear force diagram, before that we have to find out the reaction at A and reaction at B. So let us start. Even though finding the reaction at A and B we have studied in our engineering mechanics, then also I will repeat the same thing here. Then sigma, so only vertical force is there, so sigma y is equal to 0. We will consider it means that RA plus RB will be, load is 20 kilonewton per meter is there. So we have to multiply it with 6, then it will become pointed load. Then we are having another load of 10 kilonewton. So total we will get here 130 kilonewton. So total load that is acting on the beam is 130 kilonewton. That has to be shared by RA and RB, reaction at A and reaction at B. Then to find out the reaction, then we are having MA equal to 0. Then RA into 0 will be 0 only. Then there is no need to consider that. Then another one is 20 into 20 into how much it is spread? 6. And it will be acting at 6 by 2. Then we are having plus 10. It is at a distance of 6 meter from, it is at a distance of 6 meter from point A. So it will be 6 and minus RB is also the reaction at a distance of 4 meter. So it will be 0. Then RB we are going to get, RB into 4 is equal to 20 into 6 into 3 plus 60. So RB will be, so RB is 20 into 6 into 3 plus 60 divided by 4, that we are getting it as 105 kilonewton. We will get it as 105 kilonewton. Then we will find RA by substituting the value of 105 in the first equation, RA plus RB. So we will get 130 minus 105 is equal to 25 kilonewton. So RA is 25 kilonewton and RB is RA is 25 kilonewton and RB is 105 kilonewton. Now let us start the shear force calculations. What is the shear force calculation? What is the, then in shear force calculation, left side up and left side down, we are taking it as positive, and left side down and right side up, we are considering it as negative. Left side up and right side down considering as positive, and left side down and right side up considering as negative. Then shear force at A is FA. Here we are having a force of 25 kilonewton when we consider the section at the right side of FA. So how to take the section and how to find the shear force? Very well, I have explained in my previous 2 videos. That one video is on simply supported beam and other video is in cantilever beam. Kindly go through that video if you have any doubt in taking the shear force from the beam. Okay, so here 25 is there, it is going up, support is going up, so we can take it as positive 25 kilonewton is positive. Then when we will come to the next point is B. When we will come to the next point, that is B, then here the uniformly distributed load is there. Whenever the uniformly distributed load comes, what have to do now? You have to go for the calculation of shear force left side as well as right side. In left side, you will not consider the load at B, and in right side, you will consider the load at B also. In left side only we are taking 25 kilonewton, positive is already there. Then minus will come because the uniformly distributed load is acting downward, and it is 20 kilonewton per meter for a distance of 4, isn't it? So it will come 25 minus 80. That is minus 55. You are going to get minus 55 kilonewton you will get. Now, let us come to the other side, means the right. Let us take that section. We are taking, coming means we are taking the section here and there. First, we are taking the left side of B. Then we are taking the section to the right side of B. Then shear force at the right side of B, we are coming. And normally when teachers will show in your college, they will rewrite whatever is written up to now. That is 25 minus 20 into 4. Then they will come to the next force. There is no need. We have already come to the left side of point B. Then we can proceed from that point, because then whatever be up to the left side, it is minus 55 kilonewton that we have already defined. So you need not to write here again 25 minus 20 into 4 and all. I am writing here directly minus 55 because up to here it is minus 55, and whatever is there that the point of B, that we have to include, because the section have gone the right side of B. So there it is having 105 kilonewton also. So we are going to get here plus 50, not that, plus 50 kilonewton. We are going to get here plus 50 kilonewton. Now, what is the next point? Next point is C. F, C, L, we will come first. To the left side of C, we are coming first. Okay. In the left side of B, whatever, then we have to start only from 50, plus 50 is there. And left side, we are having a uniformly distributed load 20, and it is spread only for 2 meters. So 20 into 4. So it means that 50 minus 40, that is 10 kilonewton. It means the load at the left side of B is only 4 kilonewton. That also we found out. Then what is the load at the right side of B? Right side of B, then we are taking the section to the right side of B. So what will also will come? The 10 kilonewton also will come. Okay, 10 kilonewton also will come. So up to here we are having plus 10. Okay, up to here we are having 10 plus 10. Then whether we have to add or minus, we can't add it because it is negative. So we have to minus it. So we will get 0. So the right side we are having 0 kilonewton. No. So it means that the right side, it will touch the baseline. At the right side of B, it will touch the baseline. Now we have to draw the shear force diagram. Now we have to draw the shear force diagram. Let us draw the shear force diagram, because drawing the shear force diagram at this time is very important. Then only we can find the bending moment of each and every point, and hence to draw the bending moment diagram. So we cannot keep it for some other time. We have to draw it right now itself. So let us draw the bending moment, shear force diagram now. So here RA we are having as all this point we will write RA, RB and all other points we have to write. RA is 25 kilonewton RA and RB we are having 105 kilonewton and this one is 20 kilonewton per meter and here we are having a pointer load of 10 kilonewton. Now let us start to draw the diagram here. We will extend it. We will extend this point to here. And C also we have to extend. Then draw the baseline now. We are drawing the baseline now. And here, by taking the scale, we are not going to mark. On an approximation, you can mark what is RA. RA is 25. So this is 25. And then the left side of B, we are having the left side of B. Left side of B, it is 55. Since it is minus 55, it will come down. Thereafter, then we are having 50 at the right side. So at 50 here at the right side. In C, we are having 10 and thereafter it is 0. So it will be coming like this way. It will be straight line only. And whichever be the included area, it may be better to fill with some color. Otherwise, hatching also will do. And whichever is coming at the above this baseline is shown as positive, and below the baseline, it is to be shown as negative. Now see, this is a point A, this is the point B, and this is the point C. And see here, a point is here. This point I am marking it as point D. This point I am marking it as point D. And here what is happening? The shear force is crossing from positive to negative. Otherwise, we can say the shear force touch the point of baseline. Whenever the shear force will touch the point of baseline, then the shear force at that particular point will be 0. And we have to find out what is the distance of D from the support A. How to find out the distance of A from D. See, above as well as below, this triangle and this triangle are similar triangle. So we can apply the rule of the similar triangle. For a similar triangle, there is the ratios are proportional. It means that here this 25 upon 55 will be is equal to, suppose this is a distance of x, then this will be 4 minus x, because total distance is 4. 55 means this height, okay? This height is 55 and this height is 25. So 25 divided by 55 will be equal to x divided by 4 minus x. X divided by 4 minus x. Now you cross multiply 25 into 4 minus x is equal to 55x. Then it will come 100 minus 25x is equal to 55x. We are doing all these things to find out the distance x. So when you will take the 25 right side, then what will happen? That 100 will be is equal to 55x plus 25x. Here we are getting x as 100 divided by 80. So we are getting here x is equal to 1.25 meter. X we are getting here 1.25 meter. Why we have done this? This we are doing to find out the distance of maximum shear force, zero shear force from x to d. Okay, wherever the shear force is a minimum, there will be maximum bending moment. Now let us go for the bending moment calculation. Bending moment calculations we will do. So bending moment, if you take at point A as well as point C, it will be 0, because there is no force at the left side of A and there is no force at the right side of C, so it will be 0. Now come for the bending moment at B. See, at the right side of B, we know at the right side of B, we are having the C as the load as well as some load of uniformly distributed is also there. So let us go for the calculation of bending moment at B. So what we are having, all are minus 20 into 2 is there. Then we are having minus 10 at a distance of 2 is there. So we are getting it as minus 40 minus 20, that is minus 60 kilonewton. Is kilonewton? No, it is kilonewton meter, because meter is also the distance into force. Then we have to find the bending moment at D also, isn't it? The bending moment at D is 25 is there at a distance of, here the distance we have found it as 1.25. 1.25, it is positive, and minus 20 into 1.25 into 1.25 divided by 2. 1.25 into 1.25 into 25 into 1.25, then 20 into 1.25, then 1.25 by 2. 1.25 is the distance between A and D. So here we are getting the answer as 15.625 kilonewton meter. By this calculation, at the point D, we will get 15.625 kilonewton. At the point B, we are having minus 60 kilonewton. And now we will draw the bending moment diagram also. At point A, it is 0. At point C also, this is 0. At point B, we are having 60. And we are having a point here as D also. A point D is here. So we will come from the point D also to here. This is a distance of 1.25 meter. And at the point D, we are having the bending moment as 15 point something we are having. So this will be coming like that, this way. See, this will be the bending moment diagram. This will be plus, this will be plus, and this will be minus. And this will be minus. And here you see at a point, suppose this point as E, at point E, it is crossing the positive to negative. We have to find the distance of distance of E from A. This is the point of A and this is the point of C. Suppose this distance is, we are giving the distance as X. And I have already in theory told that this point is at where this E is there, the point is having 0 bending moment. It means that the bending moment at E equal to 0. I have supposed this distance is at a distance of X. So let us see ME. ME is equal to, it will be 25 is there into X minus 20 into X by 2. This will be equal to 0. So this will be equal to X into 25 minus 10X, isn't it? That will be 0. It means 25. When X will go right side, then it will become 0. Now, when 10X take right side, thereafter left side, then 10X will become X positive, then it will be 25. That is X equal to 25 upon 10. So we are getting 2.5 meter. This means that the point of contraflexure, flexure is at a distance of 2.5 meter from where? From support A. Okay, thank you, and hope that this you could understand very well. If you could understand very well, please subscribe my channel and share my video with your friends and like my video. Thank you for attending.